Okay, today's episode is Sonic Rainbow, and this one actually has a bunch of little portions to it. It changes direction a few times, not necessarily going off on tangents or anything, but yeah, there's a lot of different stuff to it. So, first, the overarching structure. There's a Best Young Flyers competition that Rainbow Dash is going to enter. Prove she's the best up-and-coming flyer, and what's more, the prize is a day with the Wonderbolts, the team she really wants to join. So, yeah, she's really keen on winning this. And actually, it turns out she has an ace up her sleeve. She is the only one to ever pull off this legendary trick called the Sonic Rainbow. The only one in present times, anyway. I guess before that it was just a legend. But okay, so she's the only one ever to pull it off. But she only did it once when she was younger. So, for some reason it's harder now. I guess I don't know if being smaller meant she could like slip through it easier. But anyway, what she has to do is like I guess break the sound barrier. Well, she flies until like sonic cones form around her, and then if she can, once they get like sharp enough, or once she flies fast enough so that they like twist to like a sharp enough angle. I'm just going on how it's drawn here. It's kind of, but yeah, she can then if she can press through them all the way, she can not only cause them to bend, but just like straight up break through them. I guess that's breaking the sound barrier, but whatever. Then the Sonic Rainbow happens. But okay, so yeah, but the problem is that like she just can't pull it off now that she's grown up. Like every time she gets right there, it just like stops short, throws her back. So she's trying it again and again. She can't do it, and I mean she does. That's only the last part of her routine. She has the other two parts down pretty well, but yeah, she just can't pull this off, and she's actually starting to get a little discouraged. But anyway, Fluttershy's there. I don't know if I mentioned her, but yeah, she's there trying to cheer for Rainbow, which I guess is supposed to boost her morale. And yeah, Fluttershy is the only friend that Rainbow has who can go cheer her on in this because it takes place where the flying ponies lived, and they have rather present tense. But okay, and we've established that only they can control the clouds, so I guess they're also the only ones who can walk on clouds. And so yeah, nobody else is a flying pony. So okay, Fluttershy's all she has, and she tries to coach her in the art of a good cheer, but and she's kind of pistol whipping her too. But no, Fluttershy's a good sport. She keeps trying, and she thinks she's getting louder and louder, taking deeper breaths, but every time the same thing comes out, it's just a yay, and that's the same volume every time. And I mean, and she thinks like when Rainbow falls over, like groaning, Fluttershy's like, "Oh, was that too loud?" But, okay, kind of a funny gag there, but right. Anyway, next portion, Rainbow gets shot into Twilight's house by a messed up Sonic Rainbow, and she messes the whole place up after Twilight and the other friends, I guess, spent the whole weekend cleaning it. And so yeah, now that's just I guess their excuse though to segue to the next portion where yeah they talk about the flying competition, what Rainbow's doing. They fill in the backstory of the Sonic Rainbow because only Twilight hasn't heard of it, but you know that's still enough to give us exposition as an excuse for exposition rather. But okay, so then yeah, Rainbow takes off. She tries to hide that she's getting a little nervous, just kind of bragging, whatever, and then she takes off with Fluttershy. But it's Rarity actually who's able to see right through it because I guess we've established a couple episodes ago that yeah, Rarity is the really empathetic one now. They're getting into why she's generosity because she's good at being empathetic. Like Fluttershy is the element of kindness, but Rarity it seems is kind in a more proactive sort of way. She's good at figuring out she's good at spotting a need and she's good at filling it. So okay, but and it turns out that not only do they want her as just the gateway to what happens next, they actually want to get her in on the whole bit of action. It's kind of hackneyed how they pull it off, but they do. The Rarity decides that they need to get in there and cheer for Rainbow Dash, and so yeah, Twilight finds a spell that can give a pony who doesn't have wings, like butterfly wings, very fragile butterfly wings, and yeah, she gives them to Rarity, it's a tough spell, and Rarity volunteers to be, I guess, the guinea pig. But and then so that's the excuse to get Rarity on the action. Now she has wings, and now she can enter the flying competition. But more on that in a minute. The others, though, to make sure that it's not the same story for them, just off screen, they decide that it was too tough to pull off the spell more than once, and they just say that Twilight did a spell that allows them to walk on clouds. So, okay, I mean, kind of rushed there, but whatever. So, next scene, while the others go to meet Rainbow in the city, the Cloudsdale, she and Fluttershy get there, and Fluttershy is trying to give her a pep talk, and even worse than her cheering, she does that old routine where she's like, "Oh, just because you didn't get it right every single time before doesn't mean you can't do it when everybody's watching you." And I mean, kind of cheap gag too, but whatever. Then Rainbow, then she gets really nervous. She was really nervous. Now she's like starting to panic, and I forget if this happened before or after, but yeah, she also runs into some bullies she used to know in flight school, which apparently she dropped out of just because it wasn't for her, but it couldn't work with it, with the rules and whatever. But they, I guess, have an old grudge. They kind of make fun of her and call her Rainbow Crash because that's so creative. But okay, so yeah, they pick on her. Fluttershy actually tries to stand up for her, which was a nice moment, even though Fluttershy, mixed results on that. But she like says something assertive and then she takes it back, and that was especially good though because right before that it was Rainbow Dash encouraging her to be more assertive. So very brief bonding time between Rainbow Dash and Fluttershy there. They have the polar opposite dynamic so well. It's almost a shame that the rest of the episode wasn't that. But I don't know. They should do that later if they haven't. But okay. So then the others show up, and they all get out of the balloon. Rainbow is really surprised they're there, and then she's really encouraged, and she shows them around the place. So I guess this could be considered even another new segment where it just shows them everything in the city of Cloudsdale, where they make snowflakes, where they make rainbows, and the great gag there, Pinkie Pie dips her hoof into the rainbow potion, licks it, and it's terrible. It like sets her mouth on fire. Rainbow's like, yeah, rainbows aren't really known for their Rainbow Dash. Rainbows aren't really known for their flavors, so very nice job there. But okay. So meanwhile, though, Rarity, even though her wings are fragile, they're also really, I guess, really pretty. They really catch everyone's eye. Nobody's ever seen anything like them. And she's, even though she came there to support Rainbow Dash, she was leading the charge there. Now we're seeing the downside of her, or her weakness, on where she's also kind of vain, and she gets into this praise a little too much, and she starts really showing off, and it actually starts making Rainbow Dash more nervous because now, not only is she, relying on a trick that hasn't worked so far, she's up against competition that everyone is swooning over. So I mean, she is really feeling the pressure to impress everyone now. She's like beside herself, and if I guess I already kind of said this happened. Yeah, then Rarity joins the flying competition at the last minute, so she can show off even more. So, okay. And then, competition portion, the Wonderbolts are the judge, the princess is there, huge event. Rainbow is so out of her mind nervous that she starts, because she's scheduled to go second, then she starts switching the numbers, though, so she can just move farther back, put it off, just hoping, I guess, that something will change in the meantime. But I mean, she just keeps getting more nervous, and Rarity also keeps putting it off because she's trying to get ready, giving herself this really extensive makeover. And so finally, make sure all the chips are in place. Rarity and Rainbow Dash are both scheduled to go last, and they're the only ones left, and there's no more time for anyone else because I guess they've both put it off for too long, so they have to go at the same time. There's only time for one more, so yeah. And then Rarity also switched their theme music because I guess Rainbow Dash was going to go with rock and roll, but now it's a tune that Rarity can do like a ballet dance to, a little ballet dance in the air. So, okay. Starts off Rainbow. She doesn't totally freeze, but I mean, she tries to fight through it, just knuckle down and do the routine, but she messes up the first two parts. That doesn't. I mean, she gets some of it done, but she also messes up at points where she was fine before. So the bullies who are in the audience are making fun of her. She's getting nervous. Rarity is stealing the show, and then she messes up to the first two portions. She gets to the Sonic Rainbow. She's like, all right, this is my last chance to turn it around. She gulps, but then she's like, wings, don't fail me now, and she goes for it. And I mean, yeah, they say if you drive someone far enough into a corner, they're going to come out swinging, and I guess that's kind of the key to how they play this portion, because you can even though Rainbow has really fallen pretty far, you can sense that she's just like putting what she can into this. And then right at that moment, Rarity gets to the final part of her routine where, yeah, even though Twilight told her to be careful with the wings, she flies right up to the sun. And yeah, very proverbial, My Little Pony. She opens her wings to filter the sunlight, let it shine on the city. And I mean, she's about to declare herself queen of the world or something, but they evaporate her wings just right into thin air right at the last second, right before she can finish, and then she's right in the middle, right above the Cloud City, the stadium, which, in very important part, I should have mentioned the stadium. It's like a coliseum, but because everybody can fly, there's no floor. There's just the stands for people to sit in, ponies to sit in, but there's no floor, and Rarity just falls right through. And I mean, the Wonderbolts dive to save her, but I mean, she's flailing, and I mean, they all they all kind of mess it up because, yeah, she hits all three of them in the head and kind of knocks them out. Rainbow, right as she was gearing up to go, sees Rarity falling, and then she just, like, snap reaction, she just dives for it as hard as she can. So, I mean, they timed everything with Rainbow in this moment just right, so you can tell she's putting, like, everything into it, and I mean, going forward as hard as she can. So the sonic cones just incidentally start to form again. She's flying her fastest, and I mean, and she, she gets to that point where they're bending at their sharpest, where it's the do or die, and I mean, but like I said, you can tell she's just putting everything into it, and it happens. She shoots through it. It's like she was then shot out of a cannon with leaving a rainbow trail behind her, and I mean, and everybody is actually starts to get excited in spite of how terrible this is, because I mean, Rainbow just pulled her best trick to save Rarity, and yeah, they just cut to a shot of the ground as you can see the rainbow trail leading there, but you can't see the very bottom, and then, yeah, towards the camera, Rainbow then flies by with everyone saved, so, okay, I guess it was really right at the last second, and she flies up, back into, leaves a rainbow, a perfect rainbow over the stadium, and then sort of back into it, and yeah, she's okay at first just like relieved to have saved them, and then the stadium erupts, and I mean, just so well played, well one moment of triumph that they actually have a shot of her blinking back a tear, and I mean, not overdone either, it's just like she's smiling, and then just like barely in the corner of her eyes you can see the tear forming just like on sheer adrenaline, and it's actually not overkill for how they play it. That it's like fits right in with just what a like hard one moment of triumph this is, and then so yeah, she's just pulled off the legendary trick, saved the day, completely one-ups anything that happened beforehand, and then Rarity becomes remorseful there. She is now, I mean, humbled a little bit. She says her apologies. She thanks Rainbow Dash, of course. So okay, yeah, Rainbow just had like one of life's golden moments. So okay, and then like right as they're packing up afterwards, they kind of assume that the competition, in light of what happened, has been set on hold. I mean, the Wonderbolts are all unconscious, and they were the judges. But anyway, though, the princess though then shows up to award Rainbow Dash first place, and yeah, she comes to. Well, she asks Twilight if she learned anything, but Twilight lets Rarity deliver the moral. And then the Wonderbolts show up, not even caring who won. They just wanted to meet Rainbow for saving their lives. I don't know if the Wonderbolts are girls, so I don't think that. Anyway, so yeah, they show up, and yeah, Rainbow Dash goes like fangirl there. That was kind of funny. Like all she can say is, "Oh my gosh," in rapid succession. So, which that was pretty cute. But so anyway, the bullies also show up. They Rainbow Dash has kind of won their respect over. I mean, she just did like two incredible things at once. So, okay, they apologize. They ask if she wants to hang out and show them her tricks, but then she said, "Sorry, I got plans." So, like, still, I guess, a tiny price to pay for shutting her down sooner, even though she does accept their apology and she's cool about it. So, but okay, she just flies off to spend the day with the Wonderbolts. And so, yeah. 2 in a row. I thought this was another really good one, actually. I mean, it's like, wow, just everything about it. I mean, it does have like its weak points, like the thing with the spell. I mean, this is minor details if you think about it, but still, the thing with the spell was kind of cheap. I mean, like how they need a spell, but it was too tough off screen. It was too tough to do more than once. Kind of rushed, but okay. Yeah, I mean, there are bits like that. Rainbow at the beginning is pretty cocky. It's like they almost too much. Well, she's played up, I guess I should say, at a lot of points. But even so, this is what you got to think would be the quintessential Rainbow Dash episode. Just yeah, it really covers the angst of competition very well. I mean, I was surprised at that, but yeah, just like the messing up a routine or tricks, performance, whatever that you normally get just because you're so nervous. There's that, and just the waiting backstage. I mean, I've been there. If you haven't been able to tell it, on the wrestling team for a while. I was on a few different things, but I mean, I can be the one to confirm that yeah, that's angst can get to you that way, and I mean, you can mess up stuff you usually get very easily. So, I mean, it captured that very, very well. And I mean, it's a good character piece too with Rarity, how she had her heart in the right place, but she gets a little too into just the praise she's getting. So, I mean, she does have a little bit of vanity we've established. The bits with Rainbow Dash and Fluttershy were really good. But more than anything, the moment at the end, I mean, like, if you've ever had even one moment like that where you're just so nervous beforehand and you just come out swinging and and you pull it off in spectacular fashion. I mean, a lot of us, some of us, I'm sure, myself included, have had at least minor moments like that, which, I mean, even if in the grand scheme they don't mean a whole lot, but I mean, it's just like, wow, the perfect moments, captured perfectly by the show. I mean, what can I say? It was long-winded there, but no, it was just like I said. They timed the point where she's ready, preparing Sonic Rainbow. She's gearing up to do it in the competition. They played that really well, and then the point where she just like changes gears to save Rarity. So I mean that comes across like, okay, you can definitely tell that Rainbow's mindset is 100% behind this now. She's putting everything into it. They played that really well. And the moment where she pulled it off, because I mean they've just been building it up to the point where you really understand the significance of this. Like Rainbow Dash has just delivered, I mean, a legendary trick, and I mean, you know, and it doesn't come across as like overplayed or anything like that. I don't know, just all the right notes in a nutshell. And yeah, just like the right at the moment the crowd breaks into the cheer, or what Rarity says to her afterwards, and just the moment where you can kind of see the realization of it hit Rainbow Dash. It all works. So I mean, it was episode, I guess, that really sold you on the exhilaration of what it's trying to convey. So again, another really good one. I think that. So not much more to say. I mean, yeah, it was okay. Is that maybe I should compare it to the other ones so far? It's definitely one of the strongest ones, I think. I mean, none of them really went for like exhilaration like this one, so point there. I don't know if it's the best one or not. I mean, like I said, it does have slight weak points, but I don't know. I guess compared to the other characters, Rainbow Dash, she's arguably the most flawed. But I mean, and even though I don't totally buy into the philosophy that flawed equals more interesting, I think it does actually work to her favor when she's showing you her noble side. I think having to draw it out through how flawed she is, and really showing you that, you know, in spite of all that, she really is good-hearted. I was about to say good-natured. She's not always totally good-natured, but I mean, no, she does have a heart. She really does care about her friend, does care about doing the right things, and I mean, and just when she shows you that, it's like you realize that all of her sort of brash qualities, or all of her, I guess, rough edges, or she hasn't figured out how to get along with everyone yet, those just you kind of realize that they're inconsequential. So, I mean, very well played with Rainbow Dash, so I just really like it. So, okay. So the show's on a roll so far. I mean, I don't know, will it launch a string of episodes like this and win me over, or will it just sort of continue the pattern it was on before, and keep me sort of thinking what I've thought so far, like, good, but there are better, so let's find out. Okay, 17 is Stairmaster. I'll see you there.